Hi, Tamara. Welcome back to my channel.
Hi, thanks for having me, Kim. I just love YouTube.
I know you love being on camera, so I thought I'd get you back as many times as possible.
I always look forward to the next time.
I mean, you love talking to me, so it's all
That's
good.
true. That is actually true. Yeah.
Okay, so we are here and you are here to talk about TheraSummit because it is out in the world, it is live, people can join it. How do you feel?
I'm really, really excited about how many people are signing up and how wanted this event is. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So this is the first time that we have done a TheraSummit, and obviously I have a little bit of behind the scenes knowledge because I've been working on the project with you for months.
Hmm.
But this is the only kind of interview you're doing about it. So it'd be really great to talk about how it came about because we've done TheraBundle for a couple of years. And why you decided to just throw a summit in as well at the exact same time that we're doing bundle. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so doing two events back to back is either like mad genius or not genius at all. um We at the end of TheraBundle last year, we had such a great time, and so many people wrote to us and said that they really enjoyed it and they got so much from it. But we know that $100 is just not possible for some people, and we really wanted to make a tier available to people who don't have that $100 or the time to sit and sign up for courses. And so instead of creating a free tier of the bundle, we created a completely separate event. And this is also so that we could feature different people in the summit and the bundle, as opposed to asking bundle contributors to provide more things. Often when there's a bundle with a free tier and a paid tier, some people will put stuff in the free tier and then some people will put stuff in the paid tier, and you're just constantly asking for more and more and more. And what we will really want to do with our speaker and contributor team is to feature them and to promote them and to, further their businesses as well. And so this seemed like a really good idea at the time to feature, some people in the speaker team and feature different people in the contributor team. And the other thing was that what we did when we were researching people for the bundle is that we came across lots of people with lots of experience who really wanted to help other therapists, but they're not course creators. They don't want to be course creators. They do speak, they present and they speak publicly, but they're not course creators or download creators. And so the speaker team, it also has some people in there that you can follow and you can learn from, but didn't necessarily have material that would go into the bundle. So it's just kind of an opportunity for people to be part of the TheraBundle team, but also to participate in the events, no matter how much you can afford.
Love that. And
Mm.
why did you decide on the summit being all about starting your private practice? Why was that important to you?
It felt like the bundle was a slightly more advanced collection last year. And I really don't want to lose the possibility of helping people begin their businesses. Because that's really, how I started doing this kind of work, was helping people with their templates and helping people get set up in online practice. And so I don't want to lose that connection and that possibility of helping people at that part of their career. As much as I love supporting people and doing coaching groups and masterminds and things like that, when people start diversifying, it also felt like there was a bit of a gap. And yes, we could fill that in the bundle, but it felt like there was so much material that it was worth having a whole event about. And so we've got 22 presentations that we've specifically curated. We sort of designed the summit. We didn't ask people to suggest stuff. We
Yeah.
designed it. We chose the topics. We wrote the titles. We wrote the descriptions, and we asked people, can you apply for the thing that you have experience with? And so it's a really specifically designed and curated event.
Yeah, and it was really important to you as well that all of the speakers had some background knowledge of either still being in private practice now or have been in private practice in the last few years. And that was really important to you as well. So it was very much like up to date knowledge. So it wasn't like somebody started a private practice 20 years ago and trying to make the same kind of things fit. to what it is now, how starting a private practice is now. So I think that was really genius as well.
Yeah,
That,
I think that's really important when we're getting, a lot of the time we work with coaches and they sort of teach us what they did, but what they did was a year ago or 2 years ago or 5 years ago. And we're talking about post-pandemic private practice. We're talking about like, a few years ago, you used to be able to just boost a Facebook post and fill a therapy group. I don't even know if boosting is like, what's the point in do you know what I mean? And so now there's so many other approaches, and there are so many. I mean, Substack didn't even exist back then, and people's inboxes weren't as full back then, and there's so many changes that have happened in the marketing landscape as well. As well as like financial planning. So I think a lot of us understood during the last few years that we really need to make some sort of provision for when we're sick or when we need time off or when we're burnt out and things like that. And so we've got a whole day all about finance and money mindset and fee setting and financial planning. We've got some amazing experts. So yeah, I mean, you're right. We chose people who are in private practice, have experience and, demonstrable effectiveness with the things that they teach. But also we chose some people to come and talk to us who aren't therapists and just work with therapists. So we've got you, for example, lots of therapists and do an excellent job supporting therapists and teaching therapists about how to run the back end of their practices, and also actually the front office of their practices, right? And then we've also got other experts as well, who've come in. We've got Joe Simpson, who's an accountant, and we've got also Lucy Wheeler, who's a lawyer. And these are all people who've helped me in my private practice and make my private practice sustainable and profitable and manageable. And so I'm really excited. I'm also like, look, these people taught me all this stuff. You should hear it straight from them instead of via me, So I'm really excited about that.
yeah. Okay. So tell us about the 3 days. So the summit runs from the 5th to the 7th of November.
Mm-hmm.
We've got an amazing free workshop on the 4th, which is mission, vision, values. Actually, first of all, tell us about that. Tell us about mission, vision, values first.
Mission, Vision, Values is a workshop that I started doing a few years ago after I did a really in-depth coaching palaver event with a really amazing method. And we really distilled my business ideas down to my mission statement, my vision statement, and my core values. And it was a time when I was really reassessing, like, how do I want to align the way that I work with the way that I live? And I did that work myself, and I planned out my year. And every December, I do the same kind of planning method and plan out my quarters and things like that. And then nothing goes according to plan, but I still do it anyway. And I started doing that with my group. So I think the first time I did it was with Lottie's, was with Learn to Love Online Therapy. And then I did it with Courage, my mastermind last year, who were bundle contributors, a lot of them. And then I've started doing it with the Practice Pod, my coaching group. And every single time I think it sort of really helps us reassess the foundations of our practice. And I was really interested the other day. I saw Megan Hale, who's also in the summit and a sponsor who's working with us. And I'm a huge fan of hers. I've been a follower of hers for years. And she wrote something the other day about how when we've got a bit of experience, it's kind of hard for us to like look at the foundations. And I really resonated with that. Like sometimes I forget about the foundational parts of my business. And I think that stuff is so essential. And I think the mission, vision, values part of our business is something we skip over because we're just trying to get clients in the door. Usually we work backwards. We get a client in the door, and then we figure out what our fee is on the telephone. And then we sort our paperwork out and register for tax and insurance. And what we're doing is like day one is set your business up. Day two is finance. There's a whole day about money. And day three is get your clients in the door. So we're talking about SEO, we're talking about blogging, we're talking about networking, you know, marketing and social media. And so it's in the order that we never do it, but we definitely should do it.
Yeah, and it's funny because I'm in the back end on Heartbeat, which is where all the communities coming together, and we're starting to see all the people that have registered, which is super cool. And you know, we've got a question in the onboarding form. It's like, what are you most looking forward to? And the split between the foundations and marketing is really equal. And it's funny that the money is not like mentioned as much when actually it's so important.
Totally.
And I had a coaching call with a lovely lady the other day, and it made me really sad that she's been working for BetterHelp and also for another online directory, and her basic, like her, what's that called? The fee that she's getting as like an overall is about £20 an hour. And I was just like, oh, like you need to come to this summit. Like I literally was just like, just come to the summit. Here's the link. Like I know you paid to speak to me, but actually this is what you really need. You need to come to the summit. You need to understand about your minimum, like what your actual fee should be. So I really think that although money doesn't seem to be the one that people are like, this is why I'm here at the summit, like I really hope day two is going to be really eye-opening. And there's so many good talks around it as well, like you said, with your with the accountant, and also Megan. Amber's got one in there about Amber Lyda about private pay. So it's like not really talking about medical insurance and things like that. It's all about like, you know, having your own clients. And there's some great talks on day two as well. But yeah, it's really funny to see what people are kind of like coming for. It's either like people who really need the basics, like they want to know the foundations, or people is like, I want to get the clients in. So
yeah, absolutely.
hopefully tying it all together is really going to help everybody.
We really only usually do the money work when we get ourselves into a tangle. And I think, you know, I think that people who teach us methods like Megan teaches about minimum viable revenue, and Amber teaches about average reimbursement rates. And I think like I never used to know how to calculate those things, you know. And I think, I mean, you know, it sounds a little bit technical and you're probably going to have to get a spreadsheet out at some point, but we are legit businesses and we have to act that way, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay, so yeah, and the thing about the mission, vision, values as well is that people don't just do that off their own back. They don't just sit down and think, oh, I'm just going to start thinking about this. You need to be guided through it. And I have always found when I've done your mission, vision, values twice. And so it is definitely replicable for kind of any business. Obviously, we're talking to therapists and you make it specific to them, but I've obviously had to take it into my own business. And I've also done a similar kind of thing with another coach as well. And we spent a whole day just sitting and talking about what we wanted to do, what our vision was for our business, what our values were. And it's so important. And I just don't think that people will do it unless they're guided. So take this as your opportunity. It's completely free. It's 90 minutes. It will be recorded as well, and you'll have access to it until Sunday, the 10th of November. So if you can't come on the 4th, if it's not a good time for you, like you will be able to get the replay. You just need to sign up and you'll have sort of like 6 days or something to watch it. So definitely sign up for that. So is there anything else that you want people to know about the summit or the workshop or anything else that we've got going on in the next few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I think the way that we've designed everything, I mean, it's absolute mayhem for us. I think, you know, our team of the, you know, there's 4 of us plus extras, 4 of us working. We've all got kids. We're all responsible for income. We're all someone's always sick. Someone always needs something. Weekends don't exist, you know, and that kind of thing. But we're sort of somehow trying to figure that out and not just run ourselves into the ground. And I think what is important is like we're real people. This isn't a summit that's put on by some organization that there's like this distance. This is like when you sign up to the summit and you join Heartbeat is a little community. It's just an app you put on your phone. It's a space away from Facebook. Kim's in the back end. She's welcoming everybody. I'm in there sticking in gifts and, and Kate's in there as well. And we're looking after people. And that's what we brought from the culture of TheraBundle, is that like we're a little team of real people, and we actually want to meet you and to connect with you and to support you. And it's not about just sign up here, get this email, blah, 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 blah. So yes, the resources are great. First of all, the summit is free. You can sign up for Summit Study Club and all the sketch notes, which can be fantastic, like way of visualizing the talks. The practice framework, which is my course, which is usually sold for $129 or £100. And all of that is included in the all access pass. So you can you can upgrade so that you can save the replays and ongoing access to all of the recordings, but it is also free. Like the whole point of it is that it's free until the end of the weekend. And if you watch the summit, you can start your practice straight away. Like you'll have all of the information that you need. So I guess that's it. I mean, the most important thing I think for people is, especially if you're interested in that section, like getting clients in the door, the best way of doing that is making friends with other therapists. And I think joining the Heartbeat community and participating there is such a great way of building a network.
Yeah. And again, on one of our onboarding questions, it is like, would you like to connect with other therapists? What are you hoping to gain from this? And so many people have said yes. There's hardly been any people that haven't answered that question or have said like, no, I don't want to speak to anyone, So there definitely is a community building in Heartbeat, and we really want to encourage that as much as possible. So we've got some like daily prompts and things like that to help spark some conversation. And yeah, I love that it's off Facebook and it's a private space and it's all about starting a private practice. So you're not going to get bombarded with like ads whilst you're in there and all the other things that come through on Facebook, whilst you're in there. That's why we decided to move it off there and have a completely separate app. It's also where we run all our other groups. So Pod, Goal Getters, they're all run on there, and then we love the app. So that's why we wanted to get more people into the community to see what it's like.
And at some point we're going to turn on matchups as well, which is a really cool feature where you can connect with people and kind of organize to meet up. And I think that kind of takes the nervousness a little bit out of networking calls and having to reach out to people and stuff. So that's a really cool feature that we've got as well.
We didn't even talk about your mega 10-hour listening party as well that's happening.
Oh,
yeah. That is also free if you want more of Tamara. If you want 10 hours of Tamara in one day, we also, that is, I think, a bit mad, but...
So every day of the summit that we release all the presentations, and then we're going to have a roundtable discussion and a Q&A. So each day, different people are featured. So there's live stuff and there's pre-recorded stuff, right? So people can just listen or read transcripts to the pre-recorded stuff, or they can come and meet people and interact. So there's kind of a bit of something for everybody there. It depends how you learn best. But on the Friday, for the people who have a really hard time with accountability and sitting down and actually doing things, I'm going to get on Zoom like this, and I'm going to play the entire summit.
Straight through
for 10 hours. Maybe, who knows, it might last longer. And I'll be in the chat talking while we have this mega listening party. I have asked Kim and possibly Kate or Danny to do an hour for me so I can walk my dog and go to the loo and get some food at some point. But basically the plan is to sit for 10 hours and be available to people. And everyone gets that. That's not part of the all access pass. That's free. So come hang out with me on Friday.
Yeah, it'll be super fun. It will be fun. It'll be a great way for people to connect and just like chat to you, ask questions as well if there's any additional questions. Plus, you also get like the Q&As, like I said, and so there'll be opportunities to ask all of the all of the speakers questions, because they'll all be in Heartbeat and they'll be able to answer questions as well. So you can post and tag people. You can also send people direct messages. So if you wanted to speak to a specific speaker, or me or Kate or Tamara, you can DM us as well, so that you can just chat with us individually and, you know, not kind of publicly. So there's ways. So that's awesome. So okay, I'm going to put like all the details on screen so that people can join. I think we've kind of mentioned everything. We wanted to kind of like speed through it, because we don't want people to have to sit. We could talk about this for hours and hours, but just come to the summit and you will see for yourself what is available. If you want to start your private practice in 2025, join. If you've already started but feel like you need a little bit of support and help, join. If you're experienced but you want to just go back to the basics or do the mission, vision, values, just join for that. Just join for the mission, vision, values workshop and come and see how that can help you in business. Right, is there anything you want to end on?
Thank you so much for having me on YouTube again. I just love it here so much.
We'll bring you back for bundle soon.
Oh, fantastic. I so look forward to it.
Thanks so much, Tamara.
Bye.
Bye.